What's up guys, my name's Soapsy and welcome back to another FIFA 21 video. Today we're going to be talking about the what if Guendouzi objective, whether or not he's worth it, and some tips and tricks and a team that you can use to get this done a lot quicker. So starting with the objectives, you're going to need to score a brace in 2 separate matches using Bundesliga players. So obviously it's in a new FUT friendly mode, which is the what if classic mode, and I'll touch on what you need requirements wise for that in a minute before I show you the squad. The second objective is to score in 3 separate matches using midfielders. So again, this squad is going to help you with that as well. Assist 5 goals using French players, win 5 matches, and then score in 10 separate matches using Bundesliga players. So again, a little bit of a grind, but overall not really too much in terms of some of the other objectives we've seen, like that Neves yesterday with the 15 win requirement. So let's jump into the What If Classic and show you what that requires. So as you can see on the screen, the What If Classic requirements are that there needs to be clubs minimum 11 in your starting lineup and leagues minimum 3. So I did play around with this and trying to figure out whether or not icons counted towards it, and it turns out that icons obviously count as 1 club, as you'd imagine. So you can't get more than 1 in the starting lineup, but it only applies to the starting lineup. So in terms of having icons, you can have as many on the bench if you've got lone icons as you want. It does not matter about how many clubs there are once you're onto the bench. So you're all set there. With that in mind, let's jump straight into the team. So as you can see on the screen, guys, this is the team that I was able to assemble just from random players in my club. The main point that I want to make here with this team is that obviously you can use loan players, whatever players you want. I've themed it around Bundesliga and obviously France to try and get those objectives done. But basically the main thing that I want to show you here is the way that you can run the team, the way you can run the bench, and obviously the formation itself. So in terms of the bench, you can just use whatever you want on the bench. They don't have to be... There's no requirements. Effectively, as soon as you've got 11 squads in your starting lineup, you're all set. Everything else on the bench can be fine. So with that in mind, French players for those assists, sweaty players, obviously to get yourself the win. You know, most people have that messy card. Bundesliga players if you're struggling and you need that Bundesliga goal. And basically just anything that will help with any of the objectives, that's what you want to stack on your bench from what you have in your club. And then in terms of the team, the 4-5-1 formation for me in terms of chemistry is one of the easiest formations you can use to link players together, because the players on the right hand side, as seen with Kleiber and Van Bergen, only need that strong link between them really to get them full chem. So Kleiber's on 10 and Van Bergen is on 9 because he's at right wing. Obviously you want to make use of an icon in here to get some chemistry as well. I've gone with Cantona because he was the French icon that I had in terms of lone players, so he will hopefully come in handy for the assisting with French players part of the objective. Bundesliga, I've gone with Reina mainly because, you know, most people will have the 85 Reina or they have the 87 Reina, so there's an option for you as a very good Bundesliga striker if you don't want to go out and buy one. If you've got the funds, of course, or if you've done this Andre Silva, you can use him instead. If you have any Bundesliga strikers in your club, I wouldn't recommend necessarily using everything I have on screen, just using the things that you have in your club that you find effective for you. Obviously, crossover players are very helpful in terms of meeting both objectives, so having Coman who could both score and be the French assist is very helpful. So French Bundesliga players are going to help you. If you took that Plie card, that's another one you could use up front. Obviously, if I was running the sweatiest team possible, then, you know, you could replace a lot of these players. You could put Mendy in. Obviously, I've blocked the Theo Hernandez in there at left back. But you could block in any other French player with those. You wouldn't necessarily have to use Fofana. You could go for... you know, someone else, obviously, as long as they're not from Liverpool or Burnley. You could use someone else from the Premier League. You could even use Walker at right back if you had him and wanted to use him, of course. In midfield, you could be using Pogba or Kante. You know, effectively, as long as you stick to the requirements of, you know, taking the best players from certain clubs and making sure you only have 1 player from each club in the starting lineup, and then using whatever you want on the bench, that will really help you out. But this 4-5-1 formation, in terms of chemistry, the wingers, you can pretty much play them just as long as they strong link to each other and not need them to link to anyone else, so that's very helpful. You can also use these fullback positions to block in players by using a winger and a centre-back from the same nation to block those players in, or if you use your icon at centre-back, you can use that to block in the fullback that you want as well. The middle position is essentially going to be the linchpin, so you're going to need someone in there maybe for chem purposes that will hold the team together, and then you could obviously use someone better off the bench in that spot as well. I would probably switch in game, however, as the 4-5-1 is a little bit bugged. It's not the best formation, but it's very easy to switch. This one here, for instance, I would simply switch into the 4-1-2-1-2. I'd move Ndombele back to CDM. I would probably put Mateus Cunha up front and then have Cantona and Cam behind them. So it's very easy to move that around. You can set that in your custom tactics. But hopefully this team and generally some tips and stuff around this will help you out with the objectives, guys. I definitely think that Guendouzi is worth grinding for. Hertha Berlin, not the best team, but they still could manage 6 goals in 5 games. It's not an extraordinary task for them to get in terms of getting that upgrade. If they have any game where they score 2 or 3 goals, then as long as they score in the other games, they should be fine. So I definitely think Guendouzi, even without the upgrade, is worth it for the 10-game grind. And if he gets the upgrade, then he's even more worth it. So hopefully you guys consider that and have a look at the team, and hope this helps you out overall. If you like the video, guys, please leave a like. If you want to subscribe to me, you can. My name's Soapsy, and I'll see you guys later.